Hello, you beautiful beings. Welcome to the very first episode of On the Lolo with Lolo herself. So if you guys don't know me, I am Laura Renaud. I make TikToks about conspiracies and the Matrix. I just released my second ebook, How to Not Lose Your Shit After Unplugging from the Matrix. So if you're new here, welcome. If you're part of the Soul family and you're from TikTok or Instagram or wherever else, what's up? I'm so excited to have you here because I'm definitely going to be talking about everything that I talk about on my TikToks in this podcast. I wanted this first episode to just really be chill. I got a new chair. I got Christmas lights. I made the little corner in my room such a vibe. And I'm so excited to start this with you guys. So what I wanted to talk about today is just everything that's fucking happening in the world that nobody is talking about, all right? I get oftentimes in my comments concerns about where the direction of mankind is heading, and I would like to be the first or not to reassure you that everything is on the right track. Literally right now, we're in the brink of a fucking sci-fi movie where it's like some light versus evil shit that's going down. But the thing is that darkness has already lost. I know this can be very hard to believe, especially with everything that we see through the mainstream media. And anyways, this is boring shit. I don't want to talk about it. But whatever they're talking about on the news, try to see it as there's something else that's happening that they want to distract you from. So when you look at it from that perspective, you can see like, holy shit, is this a hoax? Holy shit, am I being thrown a curveball here? So I know a lot of people are going through a period in their lives where unmotivated, uninspired. What do I do with my life? I woke up from the Matrix, unplugged, and now I don't know what to do, which is exactly why I wrote my ebook, because so many people talk about the process of awakening and having a spiritual awakening and being like, oh my God, we're all connected, love and peace, and I meditate, I'm so grounded and connected. But like, what the fuck afterwards? Because honestly, I developed a spiritual ego, then I cleared her out, then I developed a conspiracy theorist ego. Took me a while to realize that I was, in this bitch. But it's so important to just realize where we're continuing to set limitations on ourselves with just how we are, because it's like, oh, there's so many people who don't know what I know. Unconsciously, the ego thinks it's smarter. Or it's like, oh my God, these people are so asleep, but then that is still ego. Because if we go into the concept of oneness, it is that we are all interconnected. We are all singular divine expressions of the same consciousness. So it's only the ego that separates itself from like its whole fucking mankind family. So everybody's talking about, having a spiritual awakening and reading all of those spiritual books and going through all these processes that quote unquote are supposed to make you more spiritual, right? But I find it so fucking fake, because you're already spiritual. You are already a spiritual being who reincarnated to have a human experience. We already know that. But then why are we following this toxic spiritual community telling us that there's a certain way to eat to raise your vibration, and that there's things that you're not allowed to do if you want to be a high vibrational being? But the thing is, you already are. So this is where I feel like a lot of people find peace throughout my videos, because I reassure you that, like, honestly, you're here to enjoy your fucking life. And when I say enjoy your life, I'm not saying do drugs every single day, get plastered, hammered out of your mind every single day, only eat fast food and terrible foods. But here's the thing. I 110% believe that all of our journeys are always fucking perfect. And that even if you go through a downer where you're doing all of the most harmful and terrible things to yourself, I strongly, strongly believe that that is always going to serve something later on. Because when I was around 18 years old, felt a little bit depressed. I was smoking weed every single day, and I knew that it had gotten to a point where I couldn't go a day without smoking. And I was working, minimum wage job. I was working at Tim Hortons, which is basically the Canadian Dunkin' Donuts. I really liked working there, but it was obviously not fulfilling my soul. So it was very hard for me to be connected to my authentic light. And I was totally disconnected from it at that time. I was eating the shitty foods. I was smoking. I was doing these things that were not really benefiting my highest. But holy fucking shit, is that exactly where I needed to be at that time in my life? So when you see someone going through a hardship, like, yes, you can assist them, you can bring them guidance and love and whatever, but stop trying to change the trajectory of people's lives, because most of the times the worst shit that happens to you like builds you. My first heartbreak, absolutely heart-wrenching. Like, I don't know what happened, but this fucking brought me to the ground. But the rebound was so strong, because it's almost as if those types of events or times in our lives do not present us another choice but to level up. So I find it really interesting when people are like, stop eating shit food, stop eating this. I understand you have to develop an awareness and an interest to understanding why people are saying these things, because there are foods that are really, really bad for you. But in my ebook, I do go into the whole, you need to bless everything with love. You need to believe that everything is serving your most highest and perfect and divine health. And a lot of people can find a lot of people can find that really fucking confusing, because our whole lives we're taught that the external world dictates our inner reality, right? So if something on the outside isn't going good or is affecting us, it will affect our internal state completely. So all this being said is like, tell you, I don't know why I'm laughing. It's fucking funny. When I grew up, I feel like I have to tell my life story now. But basically, both of my parents are from Quebec, Canada, all right? They both wanted to move to Florida when they were young adults. And they both wanted to meet American people. Fucking failed, because they met each other. So then they had me and my brother. And we basically did live in Florida for a very long while, a few years. So I went to kindergarten in Florida. And I didn't speak English, so that's where I learned English. Everyone's always like, oh my God, you sound so American. I was like, I'm technically not by blood, but I do have my citizenship. Thank you very much. So that's very cool. But elementary school in the United States, holy fucking shit. It's like their plan was to make obese children, 100%. I used to have mac and cheese. I was literally talking about this with my brother yesterday. What was your favorite food at the cafeteria when we were kids? So chicken nuggets that are literally an equivalent to cardboard. The mac and cheese that tastes so good because there's so many chemicals in it. Like, that's the only reason it's that good. It's not even cheese. And my brother said he loved the corn dogs because the dough was like a fucking cornbread. Amazing stuff. And then I think there were like 5 grades in that school. And each day of the week was a designated day for each grade to have ice cream. So like, I think on Thursdays was like first grade. So in first grade on Thursdays, you knew you had fucking ice cream, which was amazing. But anyways, I'm super grateful for it. But I do feel like it developed kind of an addiction to sugar and food, because I consider myself, well, not anymore. Maybe, I don't know. I've considered myself an emotional eater for a very long time, because as a child, you know, I loved to pop a few sweets to self-soothe whatever the hell was going on inside of me, because it's so crazy how even as children, we can feel like our nervous system when it's not peaceful, when something's up, something's wrong. So I used to go for food because I was kind of like, you know, not a lonely child, but I definitely loved being just with my family. I never really felt accepted by the people that were in Florida for some reason. So I loved being by myself because, I don't know, is that weird? I always feel like I was kind of a weird kid, because it's like I loved playing by myself, because every time I played with someone else, I was like, holy fucking shit, they're stupid. They don't even know how my game works. Because I used to love playing Barbies, and I would make up the weirdest fucking stories. And like, my friends would never hop in. I was like, you guys are fucking boring. But I would make like the dad cheat on the mom, and then just like weird shit. I don't even know where I got this from, because my parents are happily together. But it's just funny. I think it's all the movies, you know, and the brainwashing and the programming. But if we go back to the food aspect of things, it is very important to understand why certain ingredients should be left on the shelves. But one thing that I have come to learn is that it is so fucking important to not be fearful of things. Because if you didn't know, fear is the lowest fucking vibrational frequency. And anytime you find yourself in a state of fear, it's like you're not at your like maximal capacity to operate. You're not in a high state of being. And there's nothing negative about about that. I want people to understand that when you're in a fearful vibration, it does not mean that you're having like a negative experience, you're negative, you're bad, you're doing something wrong. It's literally just like different colors. So, oh, well, it's feeling a little yellow today, but yesterday was a little bit more red. Just like, but red is not better than yellow. Does that make sense? So if you're operating out of fear, it's not wrong, it's not bad, it's just you might not prefer that because you might not feel aligned, you might not feel creative or good. So it's just about understanding. So I found myself in a place where when I was discovering how, we already know that the whole fucking conspiracy thing about food is that they want to make the population sick so that people are sick and then they go get fucking prescriptions, and it's a wheel that keeps on turning that just makes money for the big evil guys. But that's where I found it became so important to become aware of the things I'm putting in my body. Like processed foods have been so normalized. We get chips and popcorn and candy, which is fine. But here's the thing. It starts out with you have no fucking clue about this and everything is so normal. You don't even question it. Like, you don't wonder why people like go to the movie theaters and buy Skittles and fucking Hershey bars and then the extra large popcorn and then the extra large Coke. You don't question that because it's so normalized to go to the movies and have treats for some fucking reason. Totally a Matrix thing, right? But then after it's like you realize that and you're like, why are people doing this? Maybe this is not optimal for their health. Maybe it's too much sugar. Maybe it's too much this and this and this. But then I find you reach a point where you're almost scared to do that now. You're like, oh my God, I can't have Skittles anymore. I can't have chocolate. Oh my God, no, I'm just going to go to the movies and have water with cashews or some fucking shit like that. I want you to fucking stand. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm going to curse. I love cursing. A lot of people are always like, why do you curse so much? Like, you lose me every time you curse. I'm like, fine. My passion comes through the cursing, okay, unfortunately. But if you want to have Skittles or fucking candy, Matrix candy when you go to the movies, my love, did you know you're allowed to do that? Did you know that, like, we won't put you in jail? You're not going to shave off 10 years of your life. You're not. But this is the thing. I feel like we reach a point where we start programming ourselves that everything is bad for us, because then it starts from unawareness to like too much awareness that it brings you into a state of like paralysis and fear. So enjoy your life, bless everything. And I'm not telling you to like overindulge and overdo it. But if you think that you can reach a point where you're so perfect and you don't touch anything that's harmful and you do everything right, unless that's what completely resonates with your being and it's easy for you and you don't even think about it twice and you feel your best. But like, I'm not that bitch. I am not. I enjoy my life so much and I enjoy the time that I reincarnated in. I enjoy that all of these things are always available to me. I'm so grateful that I can choose which foods to put in my body. I'm so grateful that I can taste different things at different times and I have the luxury to do so. Once you fucking flip the script around, instead of demonizing yourself, making yourself bad, enjoy it. Enjoy it. You gotta let go of the guilt. You gotta let go of the fear that you're making yourself terribly unhealthy, because listen, I don't know if you've noticed, there's so many fucking people eating this shit and they're living up to 85 years old. I saw a thing where it was like an old lady, she had like a Dr. Pepper every single day and she lived until like 90. So obviously there's something that we're fucking doing wrong, okay? I think there's this whole movement on social media about like spiritual stuff, hormone health, and it's super great because it's super important for people to become more aware. But I find that awareness comes with a lot of fear. And I do not want you to limit yourself from experiencing your life, because I would be a fucking liar if I told you that I don't eat any sugar anymore. I don't drink alcohol. Like, I still do these things. And maybe in the past I've been, once again, fearful of judgment from others in the spiritual community. Like, how can you talk about all of these things and people are supposed to listen to you, but you still drink, you still drink wine and you still have chips? Okay. Now what? What do you do with me after that point? I feel like I put so much importance to it because we're all led to believe that like, oh, there's a right way to be a human being and like I have to follow the fucking steps and I have to do it all right. But it literally looks different for every single person. Like, there's a person that can do it all right. I don't fucking even know what that means. I'm just trying to bring you guys the perspective that honestly, try to stop taking in so much information. And if you do, ask yourself if you actually fucking resonate with it. I talk about this through the entirety of my second ebook, How to Not Lose Your Shit After Unplugging from the Matrix, because I would have loved if someone was there to give me a fucking hug and reassure me that I'm not going to get it wrong. I cannot get it wrong. I cannot fuck it up. I cannot. Like, I'm getting it actually fucking perfectly. By fucking up and eating all these things I think I should not be eating, I'm actually doing it right. What about that? What about if you stopped demonizing yourself so hard for doing these things? Now, again, disclaimer, to not overindulge, to not overdo it, to choose your battles. But like, man, everything fucking serves a purpose. I will tell you guys that in the month of September, my parents went on vacation, all right? My parents haven't gone on vacation in way too fucking long. So for the first time in I don't know how long, the house was empty for a week. Now, I invited my boyfriend over. I had planned on, tracking my stuff, eating on top of my game, all that shit. And do you know what happened? Completely the opposite. I had a lot of wine, too much wine. We ate a lot of ice cream. But you know what? Like, I fucking needed that week. And as much as I can be hard on myself and tell myself I should not have done that, how stupid, how can I do that? I want you guys to understand the rebound I had the next week being like, you know what? This is not what I want for my life. And it was enjoyable while it lasted. I am still perfect in divine health. I'm so grateful for that experience. Thank you so much. But I'm moving on now. I'm moving forward. Because a lot of people, I feel like, just do these things, but they don't forgive themselves for it. They hold themselves in this like fucking pit of guilt and stress, and then they never move on. And the fact that they never move on keeps them in that same exact place. So then they cannot be shown, they cannot be guided the things that they should be doing better. Or not should, but could be, because we all have a fucking choice in life what we want to be doing. So anyways, just wanted to this makes me laugh because I feel like I don't take myself that seriously, and I feel like if I'm on a podcast I need to make it super serious. But yeah, I think awakening can be a beautiful fucking process that a lot of us are going through at this time on the planet, because this is literally why the fuck we're here. But also, man, like, get out of your ego. Enjoy your fucking incarnation. Man, enjoy it. Because I promise you, when you're back into the non-physical and you're not in this meat suit anymore, you're probably going to be like, fuck, I should have had a little bit more Haagen-Dazs ice cream than I let myself. Which is fine, because so many people are like, don't eat this, don't eat sugar, don't eat gluten, don't eat... Fine, but I'm not at that point. So if you're not at that point either, and you've been looking for someone to just like not fucking shit on you for just enjoying, well, that's me. And I'm so grateful that you're here, because there's so many of us who are truly doing the best that they can. But right now it's almost as if there's a new like beat in society where it's like, you got to be the best version of yourself. Like, you can't fuck up anything. You can't do anything fun. You need to start 6 businesses. You need to work out twice in a day. My God. Like, yeah, I'd probably be fucking superhuman if I did that shit. But like I talk about in my book, there's a whole chapter about this. The title of the chapter is, Do I Really Resonate with It? No, it's actually, Does It Really Resonate with You? Because you are being bombarded with information every single day through every fucking social media platform, the news, the radio, fucking everywhere. You don't even have the time to ask yourself if you resonate with it. There's people who are like, you should only be vegan. Bitch, do I look like I want to stop eating eggs? No, I'm not at that point. If that resonates with someone, that might be because that's what's meant for them. But I don't resonate with being vegan, so I don't think it's meant for me. Because if I accepted that I should be vegan just for the sole purpose of being vegan, because someone told me I should be vegan, then I would not be making my own conscious decision, and I would be doing it because someone fucking told me to, not because something within my being is like, oh my God, yes, I feel like, you know what, this would be really good for me. The thought of it excites me. No, fuck no. So again, if you don't feel like being vegan, you're safe here. And if you feel like being vegan, you're safe here. You are safe to be whoever the fuck you want to be. You are safe to embody whichever version of yourself that you feel appropriate and aligned with at this time. And I'm not here to tell you that you should be the best version of yourself at all times, because honestly, that's fucking impossible. I'm really sick of the whole like, if you do therapy, if you read the books, if you fucking take cold showers, if you go to sleep at 8 p.m. Yes, I highly agree that those are all habits that can serve you so beautifully and favorably. But like, fuck, you do not have to make yourself miserable. And honestly, there comes a time where if you're so sick of your shit or how your shit has been going, life is going to bring you something. Whether that's a new habit, a new eating style, a new way to move your body, whatever, it is going to bring it to you at exactly the right time when you are ready for it. And maybe you won't be, and maybe it'll circle back, but I remember wanting to lose weight for the fucking longest time. Like, I was kind of overweight as a kid, and then I got to high school, and then I was like, oh goodness gracious, I was like 14. So you're 13 years old, like you're not even done with puberty yet, and you're already thinking of how much you don't like yourself. So for so fucking long, it was like, I need to change myself. I don't like who I am. Always being resistant to how things were. So I obviously was not present at all, not grounded, not any of that. I was just like, please get me out of here. But I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to work out. I didn't know how. I wasn't ready to go to the gym. And, being 16 years old, I would work out in my room. I don't even know what I was doing, but obviously it was not like doing anything remotely like, wow. 17 years old, I want to do something like I'm overweight. I would like to have have my first boyfriend. What do I do? It took a really long time, but eventually the door opened for me where it was like, you know what? Yeah, it's going to require some discipline and some challenge, but I do want to start going to the gym. And that opportunity presented itself to me in so much alignment, so much ease. And like, even if it scared me knowing that I would change, that temptation of like, I can taste, I can smell how it's almost as if, you ask the universe for like the best fucking pepperoni pizza ever, or like, cheese if you're vegan, but then cheese. If you're vegan and you eat that fake cheese, just saying, I don't even know what the fuck is in there. It's just disgusting. Like, this is a small parenthesis. You cannot claim that you're vegan and then eat everything that a non-vegan does. Like, if you're gonna be vegan, I want to see you eating fucking seeds and like just fruit. Like, you cannot be like, I'm eating this vegan pulled chicken. The fuck is that? Like, you're not being vegan. Anyways, I'm done with that. Thank you very much. I'm just going to have to remember what I was saying now. Oh my God, this is a Dory moment. So it's like you ask the universe for the best pepperoni pizza, right? And then you're like, you're making it, you're rolling out the dough, you're spreading the cheese. Like, you can feel how good it's going to be. The sacrifice of that is waiting 20 minutes for it to cook in the oven, right? But that sacrifice, it's going to be worth it because holy fucking shit, the pizza is going to be amazing. So it's almost as if there's always a little sacrifice. Most of the times you have to sacrifice an old version of yourself to birth into the new one. So we're all asking the universe for these things. We want more money. We want a better career, a better relationship, whatever the fuck it is. We always want something better because I don't know what's our problem. Okay, I'm genuinely speaking. I'm not speaking for everybody, but sometimes the best versions of ourselves do demand the sacrifice of our smaller selves. So for that example, me being 18, I had to sacrifice the comfort of not going to the gym and then go to the gym, develop a new identity throughout that and embody it, which was then a person who was going to the gym. Very simple. But yeah, so I think this podcast is going to be a great option because I can also tell you guys more about me because I don't really go to personal things, not because I don't want to, or I'm like, I don't want people to know those things. I really don't care. Like, you guys, I'm really here for you. Like, I think from day one that I started making videos, my number one thing I want to be as fucking real as I can because holy shit, people are fake. We all know this. And like my entire life, going to school, going to high school, you can see all of these egos developing and wanting to please everybody. And obviously I went through it at some phase in my life because, I don't feel like you can escape it. But people want to be loved and accepted so fucking much that they're willing to completely change who they are. But the magic that can happen in their lives is in who they are. So we're out here convincing ourselves we need to look different, we need to be funnier, we need to find something trendy, but that's all fucking bullshit. And I wish I swear I will fucking talk about this in every way that I can so that all of you understands that literally who you are right now, without the healing, without the meditation, without the realizations, like your magic is in that. The way that you show up, the way that you laugh, the way that you believe whatever you believe, your sense of humor, the way you see the world, the way you react, your gifts, whatever the fuck it is, all of that mixed into one soup is like the best fucking soup, and you can't recreate it twice. So we all have perfect soups that are all so good in their own fucking way, but then we think we need to have like the same soup as everybody else. Yo, if everyone's eating the same fucking soup, it's boring as fuck. Like, I want realness, authenticity. I want you to show me who you really are. This is why I struggle with small talk and just interacting with new people, because it's like, okay, you can sugarcoat all you want. You can small talk me all you want. We are both uncomfortable. Can we just get to the bottom of this and see if we actually enjoy each other, like on a real level? So I remember my brother had this best friend, and she said to him once, how does your sister not give a fuck to that extent? And I don't know if it's because I was lonely as a child. Not lonely, but I was very solitary as a child. Loved being by myself. I always preferred being by myself than in the wrong company, which is why I think I've spent most of my time alone. But I literally love myself. I love spending time with myself. I have no problem with that. I know that's different for some people. I know people need to be like social butterflies. Totally respect that. But all I'm saying is that, are you yourself the entire time? A lot of people are trying to figure out what their thing is, what they're supposed to do. They're trying to be the new Andrew Tate or the new fucking Iman, whatever the fuck, or they're trying to be the new of something else. Just be you. You won't have to do anything new if you're just being you. But then we live in a world that tells us that, like, oh, we're not good enough. And then we acquire so many fucking beliefs through time that reaffirm that we're not good enough, we're not worthy. Therefore, we unconsciously think we need to change who we are. Maybe if we change who we are, we're finally going to be loved and accepted, not judged. That's fucking impossible. Holy shit. I used to think that the outside world, like everybody was so perfect, and that like I just had to work really, really hard to make myself good enough so people wouldn't judge me. But it's like, oh my God, I wasted so much time. So if you need to hear it from somebody, please stop thinking that everybody is tediously looking at you. Please stop thinking that like you're being noted and recorded through everything that you're doing and you have to act like this perfect thing. This is all an illusion. No one fucking remembers you. And I remember in high school, I had this friend, and she was the fucking most timid person I've ever met, so shy, and she was just always scared of being seen. Like, she would literally like wear an invisible cloak if she could. So one time I told her, because we went skiing, right? And we were kind of scared to fall when you get to the top because it's fucking slippery, and like we were both snowboarding. And if you didn't know, one of your feet is fucking loose. It's out. It's on the loose when you're like fucking not snowboarding. So I told her, I promise you that even if you fall, no one is going to fucking think about it when they fall asleep tonight. Think about it. We're so scared of people remembering our little awkward moments. When you fall asleep at night, do you think about the person that fell down the stairs? Most probably no. And even if you do, you literally don't give a shit. You're not judging them. And if you're judging them, you're just being an asshole, because we're all connected. So you're just judging yourself. I know that when we fall asleep, we tend to think of very different things than fucking someone we saw that day. So just the importance of fucking letting that shit go, realizing that literally no one fucking matters. You'll be so much more free. Like, you have to understand that this whole video game is playing out for you. Try to, like, if you haven't seen The Truman Show, see it like that. Literally everybody's a paid actor in your life, and all these apartment buildings and all these fucking things, they're empty. There's nothing inside. They're literally just there for your experience. So if you can just get out of your own fucking way, get out of your head, give yourself permission to embody like who you really are, because you're fucking amazing. I don't even know you. I don't even know what your name is, but I know that if you're watching this and listening to this, being present for this, you're fucking amazing. Because here's the thing. I know you don't think you are. I know you've been led to believe your entire life that like you're not good enough, or, you know, there's so many people out there like, I'm not special. Honey, if you were not special and if infinite and divine creation had no purpose for you, you would not be alive. I'm sorry. You are offering something to existence, to creation, to the evolution of consciousness in every moment, or you would not have been physically manifested. Your energy would not have been expanded to the point of having a fucking physical energetic field. Like, you are so powerful beyond belief. And I want people who are fucking amazing to stop acting mediocre. Because if everybody acts mediocre, then we live in a fucking mediocre world. And you know the only people who get recognition? It's the fucking clowns who are being fake as fuck, because the real ones are too scared to be themselves. I promise you that if you decide from this point forward to be yourself, embody yourself fully, unapologetically, you show up at a party, you don't like the people, you get the fuck out. You show up at a party, there's people who disagree with you, but you're willing enough to respect yourself to speak up for what you actually believe in instead of staying quiet. You're not creating fights or problems. You're just fucking speaking up. Because if you didn't know, we have 7 chakras, probably 12 or something like that. You have a throat chakra. See it like it's an energetic center and you need to fucking use it. I stayed quiet for a very long time in my life, didn't speak up, and you know when it burns in your throat and you want to cry, you want to speak, but you do not give yourself permission to do that? You are debalancing your energetic center, which is the throat. So it's communication, it's allowance of expression, all of those things. You need to exercise your throat chakra and say what your inner being, your higher self wants you to fucking say. Because your higher self can only send you cues and ideas and, you know, stuff like thoughts. It can't speak for you. You need to be able to embody that for yourself. So unapologetically showing up as yourself, because you're this amazing fucking particle of consciousness, and it's so complex. And I know we think that we have no purpose in being here and we're all supposed to find a fucking mediocre job and stupid shit like that. It's all bullshit, because I literally wrote an ebook about the Matrix, and it's fucking hilarious, because you do not see the value you can offer to people until you persist, until you keep going. You make it happen because you feel something within you that is like, yes, I need to do this. You let go of the limitations and the fears and the doubts and the whatever the fucks. You do it, and then you see the value you have. This is why it's so fucking important to persist. You need to keep going. Like, I swear, I got the idea to write that ebook a year ago. It took me a year to finally be like, you know what? I can actually do this. I'm giving myself permission to do this because I love writing. I love writing, and so many people who have purchased it are telling me that it felt like I was right there with them, giving them a hug, reassuring them that everything is okay. And I strongly believe that the message that I am advocating to you guys, no one is talking about it. Everybody's telling you, like, if you're spiritual, you have to act a certain way, and they're all acting from that, or they're not being spiritual. Does that make sense? I feel like there's a lot of rules now in the spiritual community, and that's where I didn't feel like I had my place, or, you know, nobody's going to take me seriously. People are going to think I'm a hypocrite, or people are going to think I'm weak because I still have wine. No. You know what? Those were all my own subconscious beliefs that I was projecting, and they were keeping me from actually doing the things I like to do, thinking that you guys would judge me, thinking that you guys would have your perceptions. But honestly, everybody's always going to have a perception. It should not be enough to stop you in your mission or in your life path. So it's really funny because my grandparents, they're like, 70, 80 now. And they're both accountants, right? They both went to school. They both believe in the whole educational system and everything, which I totally respect, because let's be real, their generation comes from a time where you had to work and make money. Like, you couldn't just go on TikTok, you know what I'm saying? So I totally respect that. But it's just funny because I remember when I quit high school, I was very insecure. Like, I was super excited about it because I knew I didn't want to do it anymore. I really didn't resonate with it. So when I had the conversation with my parents and they were like, okay, all right, our 15-year-old daughter wants to leave high school. I don't know about this one. Anyways, long story short, it happened. And I just remember going to see my grandparents a month later and just asking me questions like, what am I going to do? Or school and all of these, oh, well, you could do this, you could do this. Okay. Here's where it's funny. I love the game Sims. Okay. You fucking make a family, have some kids, design some houses. I love that shit. I don't know why I love that shit. So my grandma told me, well, since you like building houses in your little game, maybe you should be an architect. And that's where, to me, I felt like, oh, goodness gracious. Because I was like, I don't want to be an architect. It's almost as if anything that I could do and I had to go through the educational route, I was not going to consider. Because it's almost as if I always knew deep down that I do not have to go to school to be successful, to be my real true self, to be provided for. We're all naturally provided for. We just acquire fucking beliefs and just layers of shit that blocks it all off, depending from, you know, everything that's been programmed into our brain. But if you would have told me at 15 years old that I was going to build a following on a new social media platform that did not yet exist, and that I could literally be myself so much and I'd make so many friends all over the fucking planet who think like me, who are open minded like me, who are receptive and just lovely fucking souls like you guys. I know every single one of you listening, like, this is a soul family. Every single time I post a video, I express my gratitude that you guys are finding your way to my videos. Anyone who needs them, needs to hear what I'm saying, you find your way to it. So I'm just really, really, really grateful for this outlet, you guys, because I didn't know what I was going to do. I still don't know what I'm going to do. I'm taking it one creative outlet at a time. I'm taking it one idea at a time. But as long as you do not give yourself permission to do those things, like, you're never going to get the inspiration. You're going to get the ideas, you're going to write them down, but you're never going to execute because you're going to be in so much fear of judgment, fear of changing, fear of like, what if this actually works? I think that's one of the things I've realized the most. We never realize how fucking scared of success we are. Because, okay, yeah, you know, like, oh, I'm scared of failing. I'm scared of it, like, going fucking down the hole, down the drain. But what if it actually works? Your whole reality is going to change. And as much as that might be what you consciously want, it's death to everything that you are now. Like, if you just overnight start making $1 million, like, it's death to the you that might not know how to pay its bills. And even if you don't like that, that's what you're used to. That is your current paradigm. That is just how your brain is operating. That's what it's expecting because that is what it knows. So when you introduce like a new programming in your brain, a new circuit, like, it's just, whoa, you know, it like needs some fucking adjusting to. So sometimes we self-sabotage, we choose to listen to the self-limiting beliefs because we might actually succeed. Isn't that crazy? When I was writing the ebook, there was almost an energy that would take over me and tell me not to do anything, tell me not to work on it. Oh, I'm too tired. I don't feel like it. I'm not inspired. Bullshit. You already have it in you. Why is this so hard to bring it out? I swear there was something that was preventing me from doing it, but I persisted like a motherfucker because I knew that this is something I wanted to do. And especially for you guys, because I know how much I would want to read something like that. Because I'm not saying this out of ego, but I've never seen something so authentic. Like, I wrote from a place that literally comes from my heart, and that comes from personal experience, like, I fucking know what you're going through. If you've been going through an awakening or an unplugging or remembrance, whatever you want to call the whole process, I know what it's fucking like. But there's people who know what it's like, but I feel like they're sugarcoating it. They're making it look a lot easier than it is. Or like, love and light and peace and zen. Like, this shit is hard as fuck, man. It's like you go through these things and then I just want to share them with you guys because they completely changed how I perceive things. And I know that if that's just how it works, right? We all go through our different experiences and then have our own realizations. And if we're all interconnected, there's clearly someone else on the planet that is feeling the way I'm feeling. So if I'm able to put my ego and my fears aside, give myself permission to express myself authentically and genuinely and just openly, being vulnerable, being open, we're in the times where people need to see each other's hearts. I don't want to see how many followers you have. I don't want to see how beautiful and perfect you look when you wake up. I want to know, like, I just want to see the real rawness of you. And I feel like that can be very hard for people to embody because all their lives they're told they have to be someone else. Whether it's because they want mom and dad to love them, whether it's because that's the only way they're accepted. Like, do you know how many people put on a fucking shield when they go out in public and like you never get the real side of them? I fucking hate that because it's like, how can we grow and evolve and just like be conscious together if we're too scared to go into that part of ourselves? So that was the first episode of On the Low. I love the name so much. So I hope you guys enjoyed. My goal is to release one of these weekly for you guys. So check it out. Check out my new ebook, How to Not Lose Your Shit After Unplugging from the Matrix, because I highly, highly suggest it if you're going through a process of overwhelm or loneliness or whatever. Like, it's fucking amazing. I'm going to say 110%. I'm very proud of what I wrote, and I love you guys so much. If you like this, let me know what you think. If you have subjects you want me to talk about next time, bring it on. I'm here for it. I love you guys, and thank you for listening. Thank you for watching whatever method you chose, and I will see you on the next episode of On the Low. Okay, bye.